welcome to Live Interactive English. Hi everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are going to be looking at delicious pizza pie.
Ooh, yum.
I think everyone loves pizza. Do you know anyone who doesn't like pizza?
No, actually. Not anybody that I can think of in my whole life.
Right. I've heard pizza described as the perfect food because you get bread, you get some vegetables, some cheese, you can put meat on it. I think if anyone has a fight about pizza, it's what to put on the pizza. They all agree that the pizza is a great idea, but do you put pineapple on your pizza? Ooh, you say no.
No, I say no.
Okay.
Or like in Taiwan, do you put corn on your pizza?
Well, I wouldn't choose to, but it's often there.
Yes.
That is an interesting thing. And of course, Taiwan is also famous for having some places that make these crazy pizzas, right? With like cho tofu on them and pig's blood cake and things like that. So yes, you might have a bit of a disagreement about what's on the pizza, but having the pizza is most people's, they're quite happy with having the pizza. And of course, we have sizes of pizza too. What's the normal one? I guess it's like a 12-inch.
Yeah.
It's about 30 centimeters across. Well, I once ordered an 18-inch pizza because I had friends coming over to watch, some sports.
Oh.
It was hard to get it into the back of the car.
I bet.
Yeah.
The big pizza boxes they make it a little bit difficult to transport.
Clearly it's a 6-inch, it's 6 inches bigger, but the box is, you suddenly see, whoa, that's a big pizza. I can't get that home.
Yes.
And I'm sure they come in much larger sizes too. And then of course we can get into Chicago deep dish pizza.
That's my favorite.
Which is smaller and very thick. You like that the most?
That's my favorite. I'm also from Chicago, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have something to do with it. So pizzas are very, very popular. They come in all shapes, sizes, and flavors. Let's find out all about them in our article titled Delicious Pizza Pie. There's no E on the pie.
Uh-oh.
You see that in our title?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So it's not a pizza pie like the food. It's pizza pie like math?
You mean like 3.14159 blah, 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 pie? Pie? Pie?
We're not talking about food. We have to talk about math?
Oh, suddenly I want a lot of pineapple on my pizza because then at least it would be a real pizza. All right, guys, let's find out what is going on with this pizza pie.
You go to a pizza shop to buy a large 12-inch pizza. However, it's the end of the day and the store only has smaller sizes remaining. You are offered 2 6-inch pizzas for the same price as one large. Should you accept? To find out, we have to use a special mathematical formula, pi times the squared radius. The radius is half the diameter, and the diameter is the number we see when we order a pizza. For example, the large pizza is 12 inches, so its radius is 6 inches. When we multiply 6 by 6 to get the squared radius, we get 36. Then we multiply 36 by pi, which is about 3.14. This gives us a surface area of just over 113 square inches for a large pizza.
All right, so let's get into our article that is about either a delicious Italian-American food or math or both, or maybe someone just typed it really, really badly because it says delicious pizza pie, but pie, like pizza pie, is P-I-E, whereas pie is that what's like got 2 legs and a little hat, it's like a little table. That's, of course, from math. So what is going on? Let's read and find out, hopefully.
Yes. And so we see, well, it does start off with an actual pizza. It says, you go to a pizza shop to buy a large 12-inch pizza.
Pizza pie, all right.
So far, so good. However, that's always the start of these kinds of math problems.
Yeah.
It's the end of the day, and the store only has smaller sizes remaining.
Okay.
You are offered 2 6-inch pizzas for the same price as 1 large. Again, that was 12 inches.
Okay.
Should you accept? Oh boy, that is a math problem if I ever heard one.
Interesting.
1 12-inch, that's not that
That's
big.
a normal
12
large
inch
pizza. Yeah.
Or 2 6-inches.
2 6-inch pizzas for the same price. So if I get 2 of the small ones and 6 plus 6 equals 12, that should be the same thing, right? Maybe. So it's asking, should you accept? Should you say, okay, that's the same thing, that's a good deal, fine? Or would you be getting less pizza or more? I think we'll need some math skills here. It says to find out, we have to use a special mathematical formula. This is not going to be about pizza. Pi, P-I, times the squared radius. Oh my God, I'm back in geometry class. So this is a mathematical formula. Mathematical, mathematics, math, numbers, problems, solving, solution, things like that. So anything to do with math is mathematical, all right? So your math book from school, that's my mathematical textbook. It's my school book about math, okay? If you have a degree in mathematical engineering or computation, you're probably really good at math. A mathematical calculator might have special sine, cosine, tangent, special buttons on it that you don't get on other ones. So basically anything to do with the school subject, the study of numbers, math is mathematical. For example, I can't solve the last mathematical problem on this page. Or we could also just say math problem. And often when we're doing mathematical calculations, formulas can be, well, very important and helpful.
Yes, and so we have this word formula, and since we are talking about kind of math problems.
Yes.
Well, the formula is just the specific order of different numbers or signs and things like that that you need to do to solve for a problem.
Okay.
For example, you have a circle, like in our example,
yes,
and you want to know the area of the circle.
How big is the space in the circle?
Yes, and
okay,
so luckily, a long time ago, somebody figured out the formula to figure out how much is inside that circle.
Okay.
And so we have the formula already written down. We already know it. Somebody figured it out for us. Great. So now all you have to do is pi r squared. That little thing is called the formula. And so there are many, 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 many formulas in math. And sometimes you have to remember them. Sometimes you can just look them up. But they are quite useful to solve for what you're solving for. So here it says, at school, I learned the formula for how to work out the area of a square. So there was a specific formula. I remembered it, and now I can use it to figure out the area.
Okay, very, very interesting. So how do we use the formula to figure out how many pizzas we need or, you know, what we're doing here?
Yes, and so we have to look at some of these different words and some different math words in here. And it says the radius is half the diameter, and the diameter is the number we see when we order a pizza. So all this is if you look at a circle, the diameter is from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle. And then the radius is half that, because somebody a long time ago figured out that if you take this radius and you square it and you multiply it by pi, then you will find out what's the area of that circle.
Makes sense to me.
Yes. Smarter people than us figured it out. So now we can just use it.
A long time ago.
Yes.
That's true. We have learned from their knowledge,
yes,
so we can be much smarter than maybe we are. All right, so how do we do this? Let's do the math.
Okay.
Let's crunch some numbers.
Good. So,
yes,
for example, the large pizza is 12 inches.
12-inch pizza, yes.
So its radius is 6 inches.
Half of that from the middle to one side.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
When we multiply 6 by 6 to get the squared radius.
6 squared.
Yes, so 6, you multiply it by itself,
right,
that's how you square something.
Right.
We get 36.
Okay, 6 times 6 is 36, yes, sure.
So now we have a number.
We have that number.
Good.
Okay.
We have one more step.
Then we multiply 36, that number of the radius squared, we multiply that by pi, which is about 3.14. Pi doesn't really change, so that will always be the same. This gives us a surface area of just over 113 square inches for a large pizza. So there we are. We have the radius. We've timed the radius by itself. 6 times 6, 36 times 3.14 comes out to just around 113. That is the whole size. That is all of the pizza in this large pizza. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have to do the same for the two little pizzas.
Yes, and then we can compare.
And we will do that after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Delicious Pizza Pie。那这边没有拼错单字哦。平常我们说 Pizza Pie 就是 pizza 的别称。那么 Pie P-I-E 它是指派或是馅饼。那么圆周率 Pie 读音跟它一样，只是拼成 P-I。那这边它就是刻意用 Pizza Pie 把这个 Pie 改成 P-I 来形成双关语，就是因为今天的课程要来解一个跟披萨相关的数学题。当你到披萨店去买一个12英寸的大披萨，但是店里面只剩下比较小的尺寸，店家就提议说，卖你2个6英寸的披萨，价格跟1个12英寸的大披萨一样，这样你应该接受吗？那要找出答案，你就得用一个特殊的数学公式，就是 pi times the squared radius， 圆周率乘以半径的平方，也就是我们说的半径乘半径乘这个圆周率 3.14。好，那补充一下 radius 就是半径，那么 square 它可以当及物动词来指使成为平方，使成平方。那我们用到 squared， 它就是 square 的过去分词当形容词用来形容平方的。好，那至于直径的英文会是 diameter 就是直径。课文单字它则用到 mathematical， 它是形容数学的。这时候 Mike 老师他有提到 mathematical computation， 这是指数学计算。老师还有提到 geometry 这个字，我们拼一下 G-E-O-M-E-T-R-Y。geometry 它表示几何学。下一个单字 formula， 它可以指科学的公式、方程式，那也可以用来指着做事的准则啊、方法或是方案。那课文接着提到说，半径是直径的一半。那直径呢，就是我们点披萨时所看到的数字，像大披萨是12英寸，那它的半径就会是6英寸。所以啦，6乘以6乘以 3.14， 我们就会得到大披萨的表面积比113平方英寸再多一点。那这边有2个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是乘法的说法。那第一种可以用到介系词 times 去表达乘以，像6 times 2 is 12， 或是念作 equals 12， 可以表达6乘以2等于12。第二个我们可以用到动词 multiply 来表达乘，像 if you multiply 2 by 6 you'll get 12， 如果用6乘2你会得到12。好，接着我们要介绍的是倍数的表示法。要表达多少倍的时候，英文会用到数字加上 times， 像3倍会是 3 times， 4倍 4 times 等等。那么1/2会用到 half， 2倍会用 2 times 或者是 twice。我们以下要介绍3种表示倍数的句型。第一个句型是倍数加上 the 名词 of 加上名词，像是 Their new house is twice the size of their old one， 他们的新家是旧家的2倍大。那第二个句型是倍数加上 as many 可数名词 as 点点点，或者是倍数加上 as much 不可数名词 as 点点点。例如 He earns twice as much money as his brother， 他赚的钱是哥哥的2倍。第三个介绍的句型是倍数加上比较级，后面可以加一个名词，再加 than 点点点。那注意我们用 half 或者是 twice 来进行比较时，通常不会用在这个句型里。例如 Their campus is 3 times larger than ours， 他们的校园是我们的3倍大。接回到课文中。
If we follow the same formula for a 6-inch pizza, we calculate a surface area of around 28 square inches. Multiply that by 2, and we get about 57 square inches. That's roughly half as much food as one 12-inch pizza. So, use pie when you want to feast on some pizza pie and avoid getting ripped off.
All right, so we have figured out that we have 113 square, this would be square inches of pizza in a 12-inch pizza. Now, is that the same as two 6-inch pizzas? Would that be a good equal deal? It says, well, if we follow the same formula, remember pi r squared, for a 6-inch pizza, that's half the size, 12 inches to 6 inches, we calculate a surface area of around 28 square inches. So remember 6, half of 6, that would be the r, the radius, that's 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3.14 is around 28 square inches. That is one pizza. And I calculated that. Well, I didn't. I just actually read it. But yes, if we add all those numbers, multiply, subtract, if we do all the math that is needed, we have calculated, hopefully, the right answer. To calculate is basically like to figure out or to find the answer of some kind of math problem. For example, let's calculate how much money we spent last night on pizza.
And that's also why a calculator is called a calculator.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
The thing that helps you calculate everything.
Right.
Yes, and so now we have how much surface area one 6-inch pizza has.
Right, that was about 28.
Yes, but we have two. So clearly, surely 2 6 inches should be the same as a 12-inch, right?
We'll see.
Well, so now we multiply that by 2, and we get about 57 square inches. That's roughly half as much food as one 12-inch pizza.
Yeah.
So use pie when you want to feast on some pizza pie and avoid getting ripped off. So that is kind of a good thing that you can kind of quickly do in your head and go, wait a second, this isn't adding up. Sometimes we say the math isn't mathing. It's not
The math isn't mathing.
It's not adding up. Because like if you say that these two 6-inch pizzas are not the same as one 12-inch pizza, they are very different. They're only about half as much pizza as the big one.
That's a very good expression, but very bad English. Of course, you can use math as a verb. You can't say the math isn't mathing. It just doesn't work out, right? It doesn't add up. It's not the result you're looking for because, yes, two 6-inch pizzas are roughly half of one 12-inch pizza. That's amazing. But yeah, when you do the math, I mean, it makes sense and the numbers don't lie. So it's roughly half. When we say roughly, this is an adverb, and we're kind of saying it's around, and it's in the area, but it's not exactly that number, okay? So hey, for example, I live roughly half a mile from the nearest supermarket. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less. It doesn't matter.
Yes, and then we also had this word feast. And here we're using it as a verb to feast on something. And usually you will have it in that phrasing, to feast on. So you are eating, you want to just eat and you want to eat and eat and eat and you want it to be a lot of food and you want to probably eat fast because you're starving and you're so excited to feast on something. And sometimes we even use this as a phrase to say, to feast your eyes on something. So that means to look at this super awesome thing, feast your eyes on this amazing feast. And so feast can also be used as a noun, the actual food itself. But here it says, I'm going to feast on a big bowl of noodles when I get home. So maybe you've been hungry all day, thinking about it all day. I'm so excited to feast on this bowl of noodles.
Eating large amounts and really, really enjoying the experience. So there you go. What size of pizza do you usually get? That's our what do you think question. So yeah, you have a family.
Yeah.
So what size pizza do you usually get? I'm guessing one 6-inch pizza would not be enough for everyone.
No, it really depends on the store, but usually we get the larger size. Usually, I think here it's like a 9-inch pizza.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
9, 12, yeah.
Yeah, 12. Maybe it's 12. I can't remember exactly because I just look and see, does it have 4 pieces? If so, it's not enough. If it has more than 4, it'll probably be enough.
Okay, that's pretty good. I usually order 1 or 2 12-inch pizzas. Sometimes I order 2 because I like to have extra pizza for the next day. Having cold pizza or warming it up for lunch is always fun. And who knows, maybe someone will stop by and I'll get to share my pizza with them. Like you guys, if you want to stop by, we will share a pizza with you. If not, we will see you around, probably standing in the pizza restaurant doing a lot of math, because now we know how. Take care. Enjoy your pizza, and bye-bye.
现在我们按照相同的公式计算6英寸披萨，那就会是3乘以3乘以3.14，那会得到大约28平方英寸的表面积。那这个数字乘以2就会得到大约是57平方英寸。所以啊，2个小披萨大约只有1个大披萨的一半诶。所以同学们下次要买披萨来进行享用时，也许你就可以用到这个公式，以免你被敲竹杠哦。那补充一下 ，rip somebody off 就可以表达敲某人竹杠，或者是讹诈某人的意思。好，那么单字 calculate 这个动词它表示计算、估计，它的相关词性有 calculation 表示计算、估算 ，calculator 则是指计算机。好，那么 Mike 老师在讲解时，他有用到 subtract 这个动词 subtract 可以表达减或者是扣掉。下一个单字 roughly 它是副词，表示粗略地或是大致上。Feast 当动词，它有大快朵颐、尽情的吃的那种意思。我们可以用 feast on something 表达尽情享用某事物。那么 Sam 老师他补充的用法 feast one's eyes on somebody or something 则是表达尽情的欣赏什么什么，饱览什么什么。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
You go to a pizza shop to buy a large 12-inch pizza. However, it's the end of the day and the store only has smaller sizes remaining. You are offered 2 6-inch pizzas for the same price as 1 large. Should you accept? To find out, we have to use a special mathematical formula, pi times the squared radius. The radius is half the diameter, and the diameter is the number we see when we order a pizza. For example, the large pizza is 12 inches, so its radius is 6 inches. When we multiply 6 by 6 to get the squared radius, we get 36. Then we multiply 36 by pi, which is about 3.14. This gives us a surface area of just over 113 square inches for a large pizza. If we follow the same formula for a 6-inch pizza, we calculate a surface area of around 28 square inches. Multiply that by 2, and we get about 57 square inches. That's roughly half as much food as 1 12-inch pizza. So, use pi when you want to feast on some pizza pie and avoid getting ripped off.
Do you wish to travel to Europe but don't have the time or budget to fly overseas? No worries. There is a perfect place for you to visit without needing to leave Taiwan. It's the West Lake Resortopia. Miaoli is known for its beautiful environment, Hakka cuisine, and simple way of life. West Lake Resortopia, next to Sanyi Interchange, is the perfect place to enjoy the romantic atmosphere of a European-style park. The Versailles Garden is in the central courtyard. Its most eye-catching sight is the Garden Chapel, a popular place for wedding photos and outdoor weddings. Many European sculptures stand in the garden. The fantasy world of Hans Christian Andersen reminds people of their childhood. Only a few rides are available in the West Lake Resortopia because the focus is on nature. You can look at specimens of butterflies, fireflies, and other insects in the Resortopia. It also offers DIY handicraft activities. West Lake Resortopia is a popular place to see fireflies and tong tree blossoms during each April and May. In short, West Lake Resortopia is a large nature classroom. You can visit, enjoy the scent of the forest, and unwind. Seems to me like the perfect place to visit for people of all ages. there is a plethora of places to see and things to do, and it's a guarantee you'll have a jam-packed day full of unforgettable memories.